morning. Welcome into Sports Sunday right here on 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, youtube.com/1080 AM The Fan, and Twitch for the kids. I am Joe Fisher. Across the faux marble table is not Rashad Taylor. Give you an update on that here soon. But we got Jordan Schultz across the glass, of course, as usual. How are we doing this morning, Jordan?
Cold, which is good. The studio is set to about 66, and I love it. I'm going to stay in here for 2.5 more days until the heat wave ends.
Yeah, it's a balmy 67 degrees in here as well. I don't know about you, but I have not spent more than 4 minutes outside. I would say less. 3 minutes outside over the last 2 days, I'd say.
That's fascinating, especially for you, because you are such a, if I had to describe, like, who out of the guys at the station, Jordan, would you expect to be outside on a general weekend?
Nope.
I would say Joe Fisher. Like,
nope,
hands
not
down,
happening.
Not in 100-degree weather. That is fascinating.
No,
I haven't been outside much either.
We got some straight psychos that work at this station. Yesterday, I saw Dirt was playing golf at Persimmon.
No.
Which, tip of the cap to you, dedicated to the game. I would not golf in 100+ degrees.
It's going to be lobster dirt on Monday.
Would not be doing it. Great scorecard, by the way. Good for him.
Oh, good.
Brandon Sprague was on a bike ride yesterday with his family, which, again, I mean...
What are we doing? Was this
you could still hang out with your family and not go on a bike ride on a 100-degree day.
I mean, was this like a 7:30 a.m. bike ride?
I hope so. I pray for the kids' sake that it was as early as possible. And then I got a text from the lady friend yesterday that because her and Sook's girlfriend are good friends, and she hits me with, Jason is going on a 36-mile bike ride today. Seems a little psychotic. 36-mile bike ride yesterday in a skin-tight bike riding suit, so that's 3 on this station alone that went out and did outside activities yesterday. I'm not kidding you. The only outside activity I did yesterday was drive in my car, and that was to go to the store for some beverages, and then I came right back home.
Smart. That's the way to do it.
Other than that, I was inside all day. I have watched more soccer in the last 48 hours than I probably have in my entire life. I have played plenty of video games as well. I am now officially on the Kansas City Royals roster on MLB The Show.
Oh, let's go.
We grinded through AA and AAA
what
baseball.
Position?
Third base, hot corner. Yeah.
Same. Mariners third baseman now on my MLB The Show account.
Yeah, I went and did the combine, and so it put me on a team automatically. I would have gone to my Orioles, of course, but the Royals they had a need at third base, and so they went with Joe Fisher, and they drafted me the 10th round. Just was mashing at AA and AAA, and we're up in the majors, baby.
Oh yeah, I hit like 90 home runs at AA and AAA. Like, it was stupid, and I'm like, should I increase the difficulty on this? No, this is fun.
So, yeah, I mean, for the next few days, again, I will be inside the entire time. I see no reason other than to be at some sort of swimming hole, some sort of pool to go outside at all.
So yesterday, my wife and I, we live with a pool in our HOA, so that was a nice little night swim that we got to do from 9 to 10 last night.
Little humble brag right there.
Oh my gosh, such a fancy setup with kids from every corner of the neighborhood screaming. Yeah, no, it's amazing. But
that reminds me before it's
all good.
No, you can continue. But there is a pool story I have to get to. But you were saying
I love pool stories. Like we don't have anything crazy that happened this time around. But yeah, it was a nice little night swim in like 83-degree weather at like 9 p.m. last night. My wife and I went out before noon for we tried like a 15-minute walk. It was pretty much impossible. It was, I'd say, maybe half of what we normally do. We just cut it off, turned right back around, and went home. We're like, all right, babe, let's order some food. And yeah, I went up to the mini mart, grabbed some beer, grabbed some milk, and we just sat at home. And then found a little $150 night up at Seaside for tonight. So we're just totally getting out of this, and we're just going away for the evening. And I think the worst 2 days of this heat wave are today and tomorrow. We're just skipping it and going to the coast. So.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Luckily, the weather is supposed to turn down a little bit as far as temperature-wise before the Fan Golf Classic on Thursday.
Yes.
I'm teeing off at the 1 o'clock round with a few of the guys from the Portland Pickles, which should be a fun group to play with.
Start of the heat of the day, though, brother.
But yeah, I think we're supposed to be getting up to high 80s on Fan Golf Classic that day. So yeah, we are right. We are right in the thick of it that day. You talking about going to the pool though did remind me of a very unfortunate story that I saw in the Portland metro area the other day. So I'm sure, like many Portland residents, people all around the Portland metro area trying to find a way to cool off, and they say, "Hey, let's go to the community pool."
Yeah.
This from OregonLive.com. Poop shuts down Portland pool during heat wave. 4 public aquatic centers closed as city sizzles. First of all, tip of the cap to Shane Dixon Kavanaugh, the writer of this article, who just straight up in the headline, just poop shuts down Portland pool. Also, good, was that alliteration right there? Poop shuts down Portland pool.
And good on him for just like throwing it out in the headline and not making it into like a joke or whatever. Like
malicious fecal distribution.
Something awful like that. There's many there.
And in the article it says an unfortunate fecal mishap and a mechanical malfunction prompted Portland officials Friday to abruptly close a pair of public pools, bringing the number of shuttered city aquatic centers to 4 amid a sizzling heat wave. So someone dumped in the Selwood outdoor pool, and apparently, according to the chief of staff of Portland's new Vibrant Community Service area, they said that it has to close for at least 24 hours when that happens. When someone lays a Baby Ruth in that thing.
What are we doing? And by the way, we've got to check on the age of who ended up doing this to see if it was an actual like unfortunate situation or if this was like 100% you shouldn't have been here.
It was 100% an adult.
Well,
I blame the adult in this situation.
Well, then don't go to the worst, greasiest restaurant of your life the night before and then plan on going to the pool the next day, even though you've got bubble gut rumbles like, I think I'm going to head to the pool anyways. If it is an adult, we know it started at like 7 a.m. that morning. They're sitting there at 11 a.m. in the pool like, I probably shouldn't have been here.
The barbecue from the 4th of July day before was not settling well, apparently. So yeah, shame on that person, whoever that was. And I'm going to say it was an adult because I feel like that while that happens to kids, I feel like adults are probably more guilty of that. If we were to run a poll, a pool poop poll, I feel like adults are more guilty in those situations than kids.
Yeah, I would say so.
I feel like that's more of a, age 18 and over are pulling that. Because I feel like kids, like, for the most part, regardless of age, they'll let you know. They'll let you know. They'll call you. They'll tell you, "Mommy, Daddy, I need to go poop," and then you rush into the bathroom. They usually take. Very rarely do you just see little Timmy dropping trow in the pool, unsolicited, and not saying anything. Going pee, yes. All right. Everybody is guilty of that of all ages.
Just a psychotic random dump. Did you ever swim in the pool? Because I remember doing this more as a kid maybe than now, but like with babies with diapers on. Because I remember going to the community pool and there would be families that would bring their young children.
Yeah, they got swimming diapers.
Yet I didn't know if they were swimming diapers or real diapers. To me, they looked like real diapers, which sounds suspiciously like malicious fecal distribution in a whole nother way, but nobody really polices that. So I'm just wondering what the level of fecal police is like at the pools, because this stuff happens. This stuff slips out more than we think.
We need fecal police at pools. Just someone uniformed going around.
Oh, this segment just opened up a can of whoop ass this morning, didn't it? Oh, dad joke, pun intended. We're going.
So the weather stay inside if you can. Go to a cooling center. Go to a pool that is clean. Go to some sort of river, lake, something to cool down. Just do your best out there. This is on the Vancouver Ford text line 503-864-6326. I work outside and am totally dreading Monday and Tuesday. Got to start drinking water now.
Bro, I'm so sorry.
Hey, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody that has to do an outside job. Any food truck, restaurant workers.
Yeah, Starbucks, Dutch Brothers, all the coffee dudes and ladies out there that are sitting at the window. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just Godspeed to you. And yeah, drinking water, man, that's something I've been doing lately. I don't know if you've heard of this whole thing called drinking water. It does wonders.
You've told me it really is helping you feel amazing. Changed your life.
What a revelation, drinking water. But before we get to going here to the Sports Sunday poll question and the show itself, wanted to give you a quick update on my co-host Rashad Taylor, because as you may have noticed on the YouTube stream and in this first segment, he is not here. If you weren't listening last week, he did inform us and the listeners that he's going through some unfortunate medical issues right now. And it was discovered about 2 weeks ago that there was a tumor that was growing on his kidney. To use his words to describe the size of it, cantaloupe-sized, which is that's pretty large. So he went under the knife on July 3rd, which was Wednesday, and I had reached out to his mother. I sent him a text the day before just saying, "Hey, here are my thoughts. Thinking of you, man. Just hope everything goes well."
Yeah, absolutely.
And he had his surgery on Wednesday. I reached out to his mother just to make sure that the surgery went okay. I know that he was having some worries, as does anybody going under the knife, that there's some complications from surgery and something that could go wrong. She let me know that the surgery went fine, that everything went good, and that he was resting up. And just, if there were any updates, anything else to let me know. I left it at that. I wanted to obviously just kind of give him and the family a few days to get any sort of news and updates that they need to for next steps. So hopefully going to be reaching out to him today, tomorrow, his mother, and getting a few more updates as far as what the next steps are for Rashad. We're just hoping that this isn't the C word. That they got everything they needed out of his body, that this isn't a cancerous tumor that's spread to other parts of his body, his pancreas or colon or anything like that. So that is the biggest wish and hope right now, is that they took care of everything and that it was benign, and that he, this was just a health scare, if anything. That could be my naive, blinders mindset on right now that, oh, no, he'll be fine. He'll be back in a couple weeks. We don't know. So I hope for the best. I'm trying to stay optimistic for the sake of him, and also just because he's doing the same. He is as optimistic as possible about this. So that is the latest on Rashad Taylor.
Yeah. No, his optimism, I think, is what's going to get him through this. This is such a scary thing to happen, and so sudden. I mean, literally a month and a half ago, you and I are at his wedding, and then he's coming to us and telling us this. And I'm sure there are people out there that have suffered, similar things themselves or had family members dealing with this. So there are people listening that know how scary this is. And Rashad was just so positive, though. And that's the thing. He makes me want to be better. But knowing how positive he is and hearing my wife say, this is what gets people through these kinds of ailments is the positivity. He's going to be fine. Rashad's going to be back here. I don't know, maybe it will be a couple of weeks. I doubt it, but you know how fast he heals. He's been sick and then been right back here. So I predict that we will see him sooner than you and I expected.
Yeah, so hope he's doing well. Hope he's recovering. Again, hopefully I have some more updates for you. Not next week, because I am now informing the listening audience and yourself, Jordan, that I am going camping next week.
Oh, okay.
So I will be out at the Trask River near Tillamook.
Looks like it's a Schultze and Schultze version. No, I'm just kidding. I'll call Will.
Yeah, that or just take the week off, because this leads to my poll question for today. The Sports Sunday poll question, and brought to you by Hung Far Low Chinese Restaurant. defunct former Portland Chinese restaurant. Do you remember the sign down in downtown Portland?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Hung far low. Besides baseball, what are you viewing to get through the dog days of summer? Soccer, WNBA, other, none. Shark Week tonight. That's
Shark
right.
Week.
Shark Week starts tonight, baby, on Discovery Channel. What I do appreciate is Nat Geo. The other day, I noticed that they had some shark programming on, and they're like, "Oh, it's Shark Month on Nat Geo." It's like, wow, bold move by Nat Geo, just being like, "We're gonna take your pansy ass 1 week, and we're gonna up that up by 4 weeks. Suck on that, Discovery Channel." So they have a whole Shark Month going on right now.
Well, you and I both know that we all have the attention span of goldfishes, and we'll remember that it's going on for 2 days and then check in at the end of the month and be like, oh, yeah, it's still Shark Month. That terrible marketing plan.
Yeah, Joey, my son, was not a fan of me watching Shark vs. Surfer. That was a program he wished I changed immediately. But right now in the leaderboard is other at 42%. So that could be golf. That could be someone said responded to the poll question, Tour de France going on right now.
Yeah, Hard Knocks off-season Giants version going on right now.
Could be Wimbledon. People will getting down on some tennis.
Swag loves tennis. I know that.
42% other, 31.9% soccer, whether that be Copa or Euros going on right now. 20.3% none. Shark Week tonight, and at 5.8% WNBA. Huh. That's weird. I thought everybody said that they were watching the WNBA now all of a sudden.
I mean, I tuned in to watch Bronny James' Summer League debut.
Oh, dear God.
I will admit, well, I'm sitting at home playing video games, hanging with the wife. What else am I supposed to do?
Like I said, I got a career to make happen on MLB The Show, okay? I got to be the best damn Kansas City Royals third baseman of all time, all right? Hopefully get traded after a few years because I definitely don't want to play in Kansas City. All right, let's get this thing going here. We have a lot of different things to talk about, as a matter of fact, even if it is Dog Days of Summer, including big move in the NBA. We have 3 Kings in Sacramento. We get to that next here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Auto accident?
Text in to the Vancouver Ford text line 503-864-6326 with what you are watching right now during the dog days of summer. Someone on the text line says, just the Olympics, and I listen to 1080 religiously, and that's as sportsy as I get till August. We actually have some Olympic stuff for you later in the show. We'll get to that.
I love me some Olympics. I'm actually excited. That'll probably be my filler for the rest of the summer.
Oh yeah, well I'm big on Olympics. I think I've talked about this. Just staying up randomly until 2, 3 in the morning watching air rifle or surfing or skateboarding or
Field hockey.
whatever the hell is on. I love just going through the Olympics app or NBC app, whatever that they're gonna have it all on, and just being like, ooh,
oh, it's gonna be on the cock.
Women's weightlifting, yeah, sign me up.
Absolutely, women's hammer throwing, men's shot put. Those dudes, by the way, I mean, it's like Will Ortner before he lost weight. That's what those shot putters look like. It's pretty insane.
So yeah, let us know what you're watching right now, because right now on the Sports Sunday poll question, besides soccer, WNBA, and none, Shark Week tonight, other is running away with the poll, 39.2%.
Do they still throw Sharknado like 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 into the Shark Week?
I hope not.
Programming. I swear, because I remember, everybody and their mother who's like a C-list celebrity's been in it, but I'll never forget like seeing Tara Reid on the promotion trail a decade ago for that crap.
They do have the schedule posted on Discovery.com, hosted by John Cena. So
who just retired, by the way, from or announced his retirement after 2025 from fighting.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to have Sharknado on there. I hope not. But I think maybe the Sci-Fi Channel might have rights to that.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't that I can't remember who owns Sci-Fi, if it's either the Discovery or whoever owns Max or whatnot.
They do have shows such as Big Shark Energy.
What's that about? Like the biggest sharks in the world or something?
The sharks with the biggest dong, maybe.
Oh my God!
Big
really?
Shark Energy. Great White North, Monsters of Oz, the real Sharkano. Whoa! Maybe we get a shark volcano that spews sharks.
Dongs, volcanoes, and sharks. Let's go. This is the summer that I needed.
Alien sharks, ghosts of Japan. What? Are you kidding me?
So we're combining
6,000-pound shark.
One of my favorite.
Expedition Unknown, Sharks vs. Nazis in Paradise.
Yeah, no, you're combining my favorite categories of like mystery and like people dying and ghostly stuff along with sharks. And yeah, they're starting to catch me here.
I'm going to have to Google some of these to see what the synopsis are. This is fantastic. All right, before we get too off the rails here with Shark Week, big move, big things happening in the NBA. And it includes, of all teams, one of the biggest teams in all of the NBA that everybody is locked in on at all times, wondering, what is this team going to do? The Sacramento Kings. Yes, that's right. The Sacramento Kings. They are the winners in the DeMar DeRozan race. That is your newest Sacramento King. DeMar DeRozan is going to be signed by the Sacramento Kings, and he will be joining De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis in Sacramento. Whether this is a huge move for them or not, they needed it, because last year they were a play-in team, didn't even make the playoffs. This coming off of a year where they had a great year 2 years ago as the 3 seed in the Western Conference. So going from the 3 seed to not even making the playoffs as a play-in team to now getting DeMar DeRozan, which essentially forms your big 3 in Sacramento. And if you take a look at their roster, there's 7-8 man depth chart essentially. I'm liking what the Kings are putting on paper right now. I am a big fan of this move. I think that it's what needed to be done for Sacramento. You couldn't stand pat. And when you look at what some of the other teams in the NBA are trying to do to take that next step, especially in the Western Conference as well, a deep Western Conference where 1 through 10 is a crapshoot, it seems like, every year. Kudos for them winning this contest, winning the rights to DeMar DeRozan over some other teams, over the LA Lakers who were trying to go for him. Sacramento Kings loading up for this 2024-2025 season.
I mean, as a Blazer fan, thank God I don't have to see DeMar DeRozan in a Laker uniform, because we've been hearing about like him, Jeremy Grant, all these really good names going to Los Angeles. Whew. All right, get to wipe that sweat off my head. Like, they have to figure out how to make it work with Bronny James still. I'm in on that. As far as the Sacramento Kings go, I love this move for them. I do believe DeMar DeRozan's on the older side, obviously, getting towards 35. One of the best 3-and-D leagues, or excuse me, 3-and-D wings in the league. The Blazers always were at least calling about him, you know, like when they desperately needed a 3-and-D wing to pair with Damian Lillard. Never could get in on him, but now the price is a little bit better with this sign and trade. Still making, I mean, we were just saying before the show that these salaries, I'm never going to understand exactly what the rate is for specific players. Like Malik Beasley getting a $6 million one-year contract, being one of the best three-point shooters in the league, makes no sense to me, but an aging DeMar DeRozan, still with his reputation as one of the best 3-and-D wings in the league, gets $25 million a season. I'm not sure I like that part of the deal, but I do love the acquisition for the Sacramento Kings. He's going to be shooting for you. He's going to be paired with really great scorers in De'Aaron Fox and then Domantas Sabonis, who I also really wish the Blazers would have been in on when he was acquirable for nothing. I mean, what did they trade for him from OKC to Indiana? Like a bag of chips and a halfway decent mid-tier NBA player. It was really a very low cost of acquisition when Domantas Sabonis started to break out in the NBA. Now he's an all-star. And then you got Keegan Murray as well, what we hope Chris Murray turns into, why the Blazers drafted him here in Portland. He's basically, I think, their fourth best option at this point. He averaged, 14, 15 a game for him. Sacramento looks...
lights out shooter.
Yeah, exactly. Sacramento looks loaded. I love Mike Brown as their coach. I never thought that... I could never understand why him and LeBron didn't work. Mike Brown is one of the smartest minds in the NBA. He's an X's and O's guy, and he knows how to be the rah-rah coach, which is like... the one skill that Doc Rivers has. He's a terrible X's and O's guy. So Mike Brown has the ability to put it all together. This acquisition for Sacramento, in my opinion, vaults them to the top 5, guaranteed in a very crowded Western Conference next season.
Yeah, when you look at this Sacramento Kings team now, I mean, the trade as it goes, so they will be sending Harrison Barnes to the San Antonio Spurs and then to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls will get Chris Duarte and 2 second-round picks. Hey, Oregon Duck, Chris Duarte.
And Harrison Barnes, he's past his prime. I mean, he's only 32 still, but we are talking about an aging Harrison Barnes here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, nice little move for the Spurs, just basically like acquiring savvy vets around Victor Wembanyama to just be a pro and learn the league. I mean, put Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul around Victor Wembanyama, and then you got Stephon Castle over there now. I like what the Spurs are doing this offseason, but obviously, as far as the team that's trying to win now, the Sacramento Kings making this move. So you got DeMar DeRozan, you got De'Aaron Fox, you got Domantas Sabonis. You hope that Kevin Huerter can return to form in his first year with the Kings, because he had a little bit dip last year. But then you have Sixth Man of the Year, Malik Monk. And I'm trying to think, did he win it 2 years ago? Because I don't think he won it this year.
No, I don't believe he did. But Malik Monk is,
or at least has been close to winning it. I mean, he is one of the best sixth men in the league. And then, as you mentioned, Keegan Murray as well. This is huge. This is a great move for the Sacramento Kings. And as you mentioned, Jordan, it keeps him away from one of the teams in the Western Conference who is just having a hell of an offseason, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers, who we'll get to here in a second. But
did not win that award, but was in the voting, yes.
Yeah, Malik Monk, he's been damn close, like 2 years in a row now. But Sacramento Kings, they're making the move. They're making a move that other teams wanted to go and get DeMar DeRozan. So light the beam, baby. Sacramento Kings are back on it. And again, we'll see where it leads to them in the Western Conference. Injuries aside, this is a solid formation of these 3 players. But as we mentioned, they kept them away from one team in the Western Conference, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers. And boy, oh boy, they're having an offseason to forget. We're going to get to that next here, Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan. But first, Schultze, Sports Center update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, a big move overnight in the NBA. The Sacramento Kings acquiring free agent guard DeMar DeRozan in a 3-year, $74 million sign-and-trade deal. The Kings giving up forward Harrison Barnes as well as an unprotected 2031 pick swap, sending that to the Spurs, as well as guard Chris Duarte and 2 second-round picks and cash to the Chicago Bulls. Elsewhere, the Los Angeles Lakers re-signing LeBron James to a new 2-year, $100.135 million deal this weekend. Bron took $2.7 million less than the max that the Lakers would have been allowed to pay him. This actually allowed the Lakers to open up a $13 million exception to competed free agency and keep the team under the first apron by just under $50,000. The Seattle Mariners putting up a few runs late, but early struggles at the plate dooming them again to a 5-4 loss to the Blue Jays yesterday. They can still win the series against Toronto. Jose Barrios and George Kirby on the bump today. First pitch at 1:10 p.m. on Root Sports. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The Fan Merch Locker has new shirts from the fan shows and hosts you love. Get yours now at 1080thefan.com.
The key to happiness isn't that complicated. Head over to Big's Chicken, order their wings with a side of JoJo's and a beer, then enjoy it. You're welcome. Big's Chicken on Northeast Gleason or online at bigschicken.com.
Window Nation can help beat the heat in your home with
Days. Do you know what that is, Jordan Schultz?
48 days till the start of college football, maybe?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes! Damn, we're close.
48 days. I saw this at first. It was 9 Sundays left until the first NFL Sunday of the 24-25 season. And I was like, all right, well, how many days until college football? And week 0 is August 24th. We got to start doing some little previews here soon for all of football. But the August 24th, the week 0 games. Can I entertain you with some Delaware State at Hawaii?
You know what? I'm all about the Rainbow Warriors.
Is that the I was going to say, is that the Blue Hens? No, Delaware State is the Hornets.
The Hornets versus the Warriors. I like that. And I believe it's in like Hawaii's soccer stadium. If you don't know what's going on with Hawaii, Aloha Stadium was condemned a few years ago where they play their football and baseball games because of all the rust that is acquired in a tropical climate. Shocking. Maybe you shouldn't have used metal beams to be the main support of a stadium where you're going to rust really quickly. So now they have to build a new stadium and essentially are the only team allowed by the NCAA right now to be under what the Division I FBS rules say, which is, I believe, like 12,000 seats for a stadium. And Hawaii right now is in like a 7,000 or 8,000 seat stadium. It's a little weird, a little wacky down there in Honolulu.
Which is why the Oregon game versus Hawaii got canceled for this year.
Exactly. And honestly, I'm a little upset about that because I was planning. This was obviously, I think, an easy one for Oregon to cancel to allow the schedule in joining the Big Ten to also make the Civil War happen with Oregon State. But I was definitely disappointed, as I'm sure we're a lot of other Oregon fans for that.
University of Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware. They are the Blue Hens. Delaware State, the Hornets. Montana State at New Mexico. SMU at Nevada. SMU of the ACC.
Not taking any money from the ACC either.
Because SMU, Texas, we think of the Atlantic Ocean, right?
I mean, the fact that SMU is still a program is pretty amazing in itself, right?
Hey, they fought from the depths of hell and
yes,
got
they
back
did.
to prominence.
Yes,
okay?
they did.
And then the prominent game of week 0, Aer Lingus College Football Classic, Florida State versus Georgia Tech in Ireland. That is the marquee matchup of week 0. Florida State versus Georgia Tech in Ireland? Okay.
Why isn't Notre Dame in Ireland?
That's much better than Nebraska Northwestern or whatever the hell they threw out there a couple of years ago.
You got it. If we're going to do the Aer Lingus Classic, then it's got to be a Notre Dame v. some other big program.
Well, that's what they did last year.
It's got to be that every year.
Notre Dame versus Navy. A vaunted 42-3 matchup.
I mean, back in the day, they played like college basketball games on aircraft carriers, and I'm pretty sure it always involved the Navy.
Yeah. I remember on April Fool's Day, they released a graphic for a college football game to be played on an aircraft carrier.
I remember that.
And a couple people fell for it. And Andy Dirt Johnson was adamant that it could be done. And I was like, no. It not in the sense of logistics wise that it's like, oh, well, we play basketball games. Like, yeah, that's a lot different than kicking off on a aircraft carrier and that ball shooting past 50 yards off the aircraft carrier. Or what if someone throws a Hail Mary and the wind catches that thing? Absolutely not. There's no way that could be pulled off. The size of it could fit a football field, yes. I know that you could actually play a football game on an aircraft carrier as far as dimensions go, but if we're out on the ocean trying to play football and then a ball gets thrown in the air, the wind is carrying that thing off of the aircraft carrier. That thing would be a mess.
My vertigo is going nuts right now just hearing you describe this. No thanks.
Well, something else that's going nuts right now is the Los Angeles Lakers fan base. Or probably not, because they think everything's just fine because they're the Lakers and that there's nothing wrong with their franchise. And as long as they have LeBron James, everything's good. And might I say, thank God for LeBron James taking a pay cut. What a nice guy. It reminds me of Xerxes. I am a generous God. What a guy. Taking $3 million less than the max, taking $101 million over the next 2 years. I mean, kudos to you, dude.
Big man.
What a nice guy.
Stepping up, helping the team.
To help them get under the second apron by $45,000. Could have gotten under that second apron by, I don't know, not giving Bronny James a contract, who had a magnificent, just amazing.
It was electric.
Summer league. Just I can't believe what I saw yesterday out of his 4 points.
2 of 9 shooting
in his summer league debut yesterday. The Los Angeles Lakers are such a joke. Like, it is. I really, really wonder if they do care about winning a championship at this point, or they are just going off of like, hey, we're the Lakers and we're just going to sell a ton of merchandise. We're going to sell this stadium out every night. Doesn't really matter if we win or not. They have become the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
I would say that the Lakers are probably the most.
They already probably were, but now that the fact that they aren't winning, and say what you want about the bubble title, hard title to win, I guess, being locked in Orlando for however much straight, but everybody, I mean, you could just say that is a anomaly of a year in general. It helps when you have a 4 or 5 month break and you get all your people back healthy as well. But outside of that, dude, like, this team is such a joke. You miss out on Klay Thompson, which I don't know if that's much of missing out on right now at this point. Miss out on DeMar DeRozan. Right now, the reports are saying they're going to be going after Spencer Dinwiddie or Gary Trent Jr., which Trent Jr. is a free agent, so I don't know how the hell you're going to make that happen.
Didn't they already try Spencer Dinwiddie? I'm confused.
That's what I thought, too.
Like, I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone? I'm pretty sure he was a Laker already, and he sucked.
Yeah, so I don't know what their next options are, but just, thank God for LeBron, just being as nice of a guy as he is. I loved also some of the reports, like, for the first time in over a decade, LeBron James will take less than the max. He took $3 million less than max. He's still taking $101 million over the next 2 years, and he only did it to help them get under that second apron, which helps out with future draft picks that they won't, that they'll be able to trade now and get rid of if they want to. It's such a joke. It is such a misguided attempt at trying to make, I guess, the Lakers and LeBron seem like they're going to make a move still and make something happen. Well, the move that they're going to make is not going to move the needle. It's not going to make any difference on this team. Do we see this team really being any different next year as far as performance, overall record, what they're able to do in the playoffs? This team has been a play-in team, an 8 seed, 7 seed, whatever, for the last 3 years. What's going to change? I mean, even when you had Anthony Davis last year fully healthy, you weren't even able to get into the top 5 of the Western Conference. LeBron James is aging. Yes, I know that he is a much different 40-something-year-old NBA player than most 40-year-old NBA players out there.
It's true.
But it's like, what else are you going to get out of him? What are you going to get out of this Lakers team that you haven't already gotten the last 3 years? Like, it's just going to just pop all of a sudden, and this is going to be a 1-seed dominant force that the West doesn't know what to do with?
Yes, JJ Redick is the secret sauce. That's exactly, I think, what's going to happen, Jim.
And
I think that's what they're expecting.
Also, I don't care what anybody says. If JJ Redick isn't doing a podcast, he is not the coach of the NBA Lakers. If he was he being, before he was doing his Old Man in the 3 podcast, was there any talks about him being an NBA coach, a head coach, assistant coach at all? Or was it just a matter of him starting to do the podcast, working with LeBron, showing that he does have basketball knowledge, because he clearly does, obviously. But outside of that, if he is just at home or running clinics or coaching his son's team or working, like, does he get this job? No. So again, just everything this offseason with the Los Angeles Lakers has been an absolute joke and an epic failure. And to me, I don't see why any Laker fan should have faith in what this franchise does going forward, because it's an absolute joke from LeBron to Pelinka to Jeannie Buss, top to bottom. This franchise is a joke.
I mean, they're still paying Gabe Vincent, $11 million a year after that free agent acquisition last year. Didn't work out very well for them in the playoffs. I look at the Lakers as, I would say, not just in the NBA, but the most incestuous franchise, the most incestuous organization in all of sports, right? And they're damn lucky that they had one of the greatest, not only players of all time, in Jerry West, basically vaulting them to national prominence, along with a bevy of roster of others. But what I'm trying to say is then having that same passion stick around to try to run your team, to turn them into a champion. And literally, the Busses would be nowhere if it weren't for Jerry West, right? They are lucky that he decided to put his life into trying to make that team something. They are lucky that he had the wherewithal to trade Vlade Divac for Kobe Bryant. and they would be nowhere. I mean, fake Rob Lowe, because, yeah, Rob Pelinka is literally Rob Lowe's twin. I still think Rob Lowe's taken off like the Weight Watchers wig and then going to these games and giving these press conferences as a quote-unquote Rob Pelinka. But the Lakers are one of the luckiest franchises of all time. They are so small. We are seeing the incestuous vibes from them with this doing anything to please LeBron mentality that they have, anything to keep him in town. And you bring up a great point about him taking way less money, way less, being $3 million, while still expecting that the Los Angeles Lakers give his son a fully guaranteed, 3-4 year contract. And I believe the rookie scales $1.7, $1.8 million to start. So as a rookie at 55 overall, and he's Bron's kid, but he is getting more than any 55th overall pick has ever gotten in NBA history. And that alone should have told the Lakers, you know what? No, like we can't make this work. But the story is so much more important to them, in my opinion, at this point than actual championships, that they will do absolutely anything to keep LeBron happy. And I don't think you're a fan, just like I'm not a fan of asking athletes to take less money, Joe. But I do believe LeBron James could have pulled a Tom Brady, could have pulled a Patrick Mahomes here.
A lot of athletes in a lot of leagues can pull a Tom Brady. It's just...
Yeah. They should. I mean, and he's the guy that has the power to be able to do so, I guess is what I'm saying. He's got many career earnings. He's got billions coming in from Nike for the rest of his life. What is 1 or 2 seasons with a $20 million salary in the NBA? And the fact that I'm even stating, throw out a $20 million salary for him. He should be taking the league minimum, but that is unrealistic to ask anybody to do. However, there have been teams that attach contract clauses. Like, I don't know if you remember John Lackey. He actually signed like a 5-year deal that if he got injured in that 5-year deal with the Red Sox, he would have to pitch a season and then missed a significant amount of time or a season. He would have to pitch a season on the league minimum salary. And that ended up happening. He tore his UCL, needed Tommy John, had to pitch for like $500,000 and was bitching about it. If more players actually had the willingness to set aside some of this generational money that they, in my opinion, have not always earned, LeBron is the greatest player of all time. He's going to make the most money of all time. He's already, I think, with this contract, the first player at $500 million just in career on-court earnings. But when you, at the same time, are asking to win and not allowing your team to do more than a $12.9 million mid-level exception.
Again, it
doesn't make sense to me.
I really don't think winning matters to LeBron at this point. I think it's
crazy.
Just finishing his career out with the Lakers, helping, I guess, them be somewhat financially flexible to try and do something which they will not be able to. As of 14 hours ago, and it still stands because they have not made a move, they are the only team in the NBA out of all 30 teams to add no new pieces via free agency or trades.
That is just laughable.
But what they have done is they added Bronny James on a $4.4 million guaranteed contract. I'm going to, before we take a break, I'm going to run through 4 contracts of some recent number 55 picks and what they got. Okay.
Lay 'em on me, brother.
Kyle Guy, I believe of Virginia. He played for the Virginia Cavaliers a few years ago.
He's a guy's guy.
2-way contract. Jay Scrubb, 2-way contract.
I don't want no scrub.
Aaron Wiggins, who is now making a nice name for himself on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I believe he actually just got a new contract with the Oklahoma City Thunder. 2-way contract to start his career. Guy Santos, $75,000 guaranteed.
Wow.
And Bronny James, $4.4 million guaranteed.
I'm trying to think, like, in recent years, I think the lowest pick to get a guaranteed, 3 or 4 year deal was around 38, 39, 40. This is unprecedented in NBA history, and we all know why.
Los Angeles Lakers, you are the biggest joke in the NBA. I will say this, though. Their stars, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they are on a team that I am getting especially excited about. We get to that next here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
And 1080 The Fan.
Videos were going around in Las Vegas of USA men's basketball. The team forming, the team meeting for the first time, getting ready for the Olympics. And I'll tell you what, Jordan, it got me going. It got me excited. Seeing all these players showing up in the same room, high-fiving each other, locking up, saying hey and saying like, you ready? Like, and seeing some of the younger players like Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton show up into the room as well. I was just like, dude, let's go. Let's go. The U.S. men's soccer team will depress you. The men's basketball team should impress you. We got obviously,
winners.
Yeah,
they're winners.
They actually win. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, as I mentioned in the last segment. You got old man Kevin Durant, all-time leading scorer for U.S. men's basketball. Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, Kawhi Leonard, one of my favorite players, Jason Tatum, and from the hometown of Yaoundé, Cameroon, Joel Embiid, who is now, I guess, gold medal chasing. Since he can't win a ring, he's going to not play for his home country.
So he's on the U.S. roster?
Joel Embiid is on the USA men's roster.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to
He moved to the United States at the age of 16, so that means that he hasn't even spent the majority of his life in the U.S.
No, and you now don't need citizenship to play for any country. I think either an association with a family member, like Joe Ingles played for either Israel or so. It's just random to see the connections that these NBA players make to these international teams. But I digress. The rest of the roster looks awesome.
So seeing them all come together, and it just reminded me, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, that's right, baby. U.S. men's basketball, Olympics basketball, let's go. I don't know what the landscape is for the rest of the national teams is like. I know that there's some qualifying tournaments going on right now. DeAndre Ayton showing out for the Bahamas team right now. I want to say that Greece just eliminated. Where's Luka from? What damn country is it?
Slovenia. Croatia.
God, it's killing me.
Luka is from.
Either way,
Slovenia.
Greece just eliminated Slovenia. Yeah. Spain, I think, is in one of these qualifying tournaments. I would imagine that the French team is probably pretty good in the Olympics.
Mavericks can finally stop holding their breath about Luka, so he won't even be in the Olympics. That's funny.
Yeah, no, the Greece team, they just eliminated them yesterday or the day before, I believe. They've got some qualifying tournaments going on. I think there's some games tomorrow. I'd have to double check, but the U.S. men's basketball team's got me excited. But what's got me, I'm not going to say just excited. I'm not even going to play coy here. Do you know who is on the U.S. men's 3-on-3 basketball team?
Not the men's. I knew Cameron Brink. Unfortunately, this news came down before she tore her ACL. Just what a terrible injury. She was going to be on the women's 3-on-3 team.
That is
WNBA
correct.
Player. She's awesome, and God, she is a fox, I must say. But I do not know who's on the men's team. And props to the news for letting me know about these ladies and me knowing more about them than the men's team. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, as far as the women's 3-on-3 team, I don't know who is on the USA women's 3-on-3 team this year. Let's see here.
Haley Van Lith.
Okay.
Ryan Howard, it looks like. Sierra Burdick. Literally like just all big names. And then Brink is getting replaced, obviously, because of injury. Dariqa Hamby as well rounds out that list of 5.
So they got 6 players on the roster. The U.S. men's team has 4 players. I'm going to go from least known to most known on this team. 2 of these guys I had never heard of in my life.
Is Mac McClung on the roster for the USA 3-on-3?
No, Mac McClung is not.
NBA dunk champion.
First player on this roster, Dylan Travis.
Is that a country star?
That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, that is a country music singer name if I've ever seen one. He is from Omaha, so very well could maybe be a country star in his future career.
Yeah, we sure he's not just there singing the anthem? Oh, say, can you see?
He might. From Florida Southern College. So there's Dylan Travis. Our next U.S. men's basketball player is Kareem Maddox. Does that name ring a bell at all? Because it didn't for me.
And no, and I'm gonna guess it's like Maddox, like Maddix.
Maddox.
Oh, there you. All right. Well, at least it's actually like Tommy Maddox, like
Kareem
the Maddox
Maddox
spelling I've known.
Out of Princeton. So that's probably another reason why we do not remember him. All these guys are like 30, 34, 35 also. So
Whoa. These are like my age, your age guys?
Yes, Dylan Travis, I think, is the youngest on the team at 31 years old. No,
doing?
second youngest on the team at 31 years old.
What are we doing?
Well, and I had to look this up, and it made sense. It was like, oh, well, duh, once I pulled it up. But there's like no NBA players on any of the men's team because it's like you have to train, you have to be doing qualifying tournaments. Like 3-on-3 men's basketball is a thing. Like you are dedicated to the cause. You are not in the NBA. You might be playing in an overseas league, but some of their tournaments coincide with the NBA season.
Yeah.
So you can't be on a 3-on-3 team and also in the NBA.
But I would think that there's a couple of ringers that you'd want to bring on in a normal situation. I bet, Joe, I bet the house I don't own that there's some contractual obligations that keep them tied to the NBA, as opposed to the WNBA where they're like, hey, our star is going to play 3-on-3 basketball, is going to grow the game. I don't think the NBA really needs that growth.
Oh, buddy. Just wait until I get to these next two names. We got some stars, okay?
I mean, I'm kind of concerned Steve Blake, former Blazer, is about to pop up on this list, bro.
Not Steve Blake.
Okay.
But I give you son of Rick Barry, Canyon Barry.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
The granny free throw shooter.
Oh, yeah.
Canyon Barry,
baby.
Let's go. All right. The gold is ours. Got it. U.S. gonna take it all for the 3-on-3, baby.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to the star of the team. Yes, we have Canyon Barry, granny free throw shooter himself. Set Florida's all-time records for consecutive free throws made with 42 and for most 20-point games off the bench in a single season with 4. That's one of his college notes here.
Yeah.
But your star player for the U.S. men's 3-on-3 basketball team out of BYU, Jimmer effing Fredette.
No, we are bringing back the Chinese MVP, like Jimmer Fredette. He left the NBA a decade ago to go play for like the Shanghai Dragons. Has been scoring 30 a game ever since.
Fredette,
whoa!
Baby. At 35 years young, out of Glen Falls, New York. You're starting
3.
1, 2, or 3, whichever you choose. Jimmer Fredette. Once I saw that he was on this roster, it got me a little excited. I was like, I'm going to have to tune in at some 3-on-3 basketball, baby.
Tonight, Jimmer Fredette takes on Greece. Like, no. This is going to be crazy.
I'm trying to, I want to say in my pre-show research of 3-on-3 basketball, which consisted of, I believe, like 30 minutes, if that, we do not have the best team, but we have a good team. I want to say the best 3-on-3 basketball team goes to Serbia.
Ah, okay.
Yes, they apparently have the best of all of them. FIBA's 3x3 team rankings, yes, has Serbia as the number 1 rated team in the FIBA 3-on-3 rankings, I guess, which didn't know that was a thing, but I guess you got to keep track of this somehow. Serbia 1, Miami 2, Amsterdam 3, Lithuania 4, and I don't even know what this is. What is BRN?
Republic
Borneo?
of Nigeria? I'm not sure. BRN?
I don't even.
BRN country.
The team
Brunei. Brunei, Brunei is a tiny nation on the island of Borneo. So yeah, the island of Borneo contains a tiny nation called Brunei or Brunei. I don't know.
Well, they got the number 5 team, so watch out for them, whoever the hell or wherever the hell they're from.
What? This is so random.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm trying to look up the flag as well.
Yeah, no, it's Brunei. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Country
USA, clean sweep, winning it all. They better hold up their end of the bargain. That's all I'm saying. We're going to get the 5-on-5 championship, but we better win the 3-on-3. I want a clean men's basketball sweep. I want a clean sweep in all basketball. I want U.S. men's 3-on-3 and 5-on-5, women's 3-on-3 and 5-on-5. I want a clean sweep in all 4 of these competitions at the Olympics.
Greatest in the world. Got to hold up to it.
Damn it. All right. That wraps up hour number 1. I'm stoked for Olympics. They are right around the corner. What I do want to get to next here on Sports Sunday is we got a Summer League roster. To go over. We also had a weekend of emotions for the Oregon Ducks, and we have some possible history that could be made today in the MLB. An insane record that I haven't even begun to think of until this week. And when we talk about it, again, we will realize how insane of a record this is. We get to that next. Hour number 2 coming up here, Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Hey, I'm Brett Podolsky, co-founder of The Farmer's Dog.
The Fan, the Odyssey app, youtube.com/1080am The Fan to see our beautiful faces, and Twitch for the kids, a whopping 57 followers. Climbing the ranks on Twitch.
Make sure you put sunscreen on those nipples today. That's a dangerous spot to get burned.
On the nose and the nips.
If you've never I'm dead serious. If you've never had a sunburned nipple, like when you actually experience that for the first time, it's pretty bad. I don't know if you've ever seen The Office. I would compare it to Andy starting to bleed and then try to put cotton balls to cover up the wind resistance, something like that, like to keep the pain away. It's awful. Don't do it. Don't mess with it.
I'm just gonna do 2 solid blotches of sunscreen just right on the nips, as if it's like whipping cream or something like that.
Do it. Then you might get freaky out there in public. It's okay. We don't kink shame here on 1080 The Fan.
So I found out that the 5th-ranked 3-on-3 team in the U.S. men's basketball tournament is from a country called Bahrain, a small island country nestled in between Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Beret, that's how you say it.
Bahrain?
It's like Burei.
There is an I-N at the end. I think it is Bahrain is how it's pronounced.
Okay.
Bahrain.
Oh, like Bahrain?
Bahrain.
Yeah, see, when you say it, Bahrain comes to
Bahrain.
mind. Okay, all right, so that's this place.
Small island country of 1.472 million people. Like I said, just right smack dab in between Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Wait, 2 million people just trapped in this little island?
Yes. I don't know if they're trapped, like they can't get out. There is a bridge connecting them to Saudi Arabia, or is that another country that we don't know?
I mean, they're surrounded by
Dammam.
Saudi Arabia and Qatar. They can get out, but they really can't. Come on. Allegedly, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like in Bahrain.
Not going to dive into Middle Eastern politics, but we're talking about a part of the world that I'm not sure you and I are itching to visit very soon.
Pretty cool architecture, it looks like.
Oh, I bet. Very pretty good chance Americans can get killed there, too.
I wonder what the golf is like in Bahrain.
Oh, beautiful golf course, I'm sure, for the
Very
rich.
assumptive that just because it's in the Middle East, Americans just dead as soon as they step land.
Said a higher chance, I think.
As soon as they're there.
I'm gonna go back and listen to the tape, and I said a bigger chance of death, allegedly. Trying to be very careful about my words here.
Also on the note of basketball rosters and who is on what team, we have a Portland Trailblazers Summer League roster. How's your enthusiasm, your excitement level for some Summer League basketball?
I mean, in general or for the Portland Trailblazers?
In general.
I mean, I was excited to tune in
both.
to see Bronny James's first Summer League performance. I was excited that there were basketball games to watch this weekend. I'm dead serious. I am not lying to you. I'm not making this up for the show.
I heard about the Bronny James stuff after the fact. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not shocked that he sucked.
I wasn't either, and frankly, it was a hate watch, and I was happy to see him sucking. So sorry.
So that the hate watch, I got you.
Well, it's a hate watch, but it's also the fact that literally after the Mariners game, what else am I going to watch? The Timbers game isn't on until tonight, so I didn't even have that last night. And all right, Summer League basketball, baby. So I guess in general, it's moving the needle a little bit for me, mostly because of the Bronny stuff. But the Blazers, as you're going to talk about here coming up, they had some interesting roster inclusions and exclusions, and I'm wondering what the reasons are for that.
I mean, the 4 names of note that are on this team that you should really care about is your rookie draft pick, Donovan Clingan, your 2-way contract player, Justin Minaya. Out of curiosity, see what his game looks like this year. Chris Murray and Ryan Rupert. Those are the 4 big names. Everybody else, it's a bunch of Summer League invites, guys that we've never heard of, nor will they be on the roster to begin with. But that is your 4 key players to look out for on this Blazers team to see how Donovan Clingan obviously does in the Summer League. What's he like? Ryan Rupert, I would say, is probably the second biggest player that you want to see his performance and how he looks out there. And then Chris Murray and Justin Minaya. From what I understand, though, is that a lot of the Blazers players are in Vegas. The non-Summer League players are hanging out in the in Summer League with them, which I like that. Like, keep the team together. Keep Scoot, Shaden out there. I don't know if Anthony is there with them or not, but some of these younger players on the roster that are not playing in the summer league are at least in Vegas with the team. So I do like that, having them, working with each other, coaching each other, talking in the off time where the game is not happening. I do appreciate that factor. I am desperately ready to see Donovan Clingan in action and see what he does against the rest of the summer league. That is about the only thing that gets me going about summer league. I could not tell you one thing that happened last year in summer league basketball, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I know that we won a summer league championship a couple of years ago.
I believe we have 2 under our belts here in Portland.
We know
2 summer league championships.
We had the banner flying in the old 1080 The Fan studios. We no longer have the banner.
It's probably
here.
a good thing.
It was like a Xerox, what do they call it when they put the shiny plastic over the paper?
Like a sticker, like it's a reprinted. I don't know. I got you.
Yeah, and props to Dusty Hara for raising the banner there. Very, very happy that we have at least one banner raised for the Portland Trailblazers. But Trailblazers Summer League, that will start in, I believe, on Saturday.
Yeah,
is going
July
to be their
13th.
first game.
Against the Spurs.
Versus San Antonio Spurs. Now, the Spurs, I'm curious who they have running out on their Summer League roster. Because if they have Wemby out there, that would be stupid.
I mean, he grew so much during the season. You kind of wonder if maybe they're going to hold him off just to protect him from injury. I feel like Wemby's a different case than a lot of people in the league right now. So
I was going to say, I mean, if Scoot's not playing, then Wemby sure as hell should not be playing. But you will get Stephon Castle on that Spurs team. So that is one player to look out for. Wow, I'm looking at the Spurs roster. Jameer Nelson Jr.
Oh, I'm feeling old.
Yeah, that's
Jameer Nelson Jr.
That ages me a little bit right there.
Remember when Jameer Nelson was supposed to be like a multi-all-star year point guard in the NBA?
Hey, he killed it at St. Joe's, all right?
He was great. Hey, he was great, but Orlando, he was supposed to be like a 20-10 guy.
Went to the NBA Finals, damn
never
it.
materialized. Oh, man, that's crazy.
The Blazers will tip off at 6 o'clock Saturday, July 13th against the San Antonio Spurs for their first Summer League game. Also going to take on the 76ers, the Wizards, the Hornets as well. You'll be able to watch that one against the Spurs on ESPN2 at 6 o'clock again, Saturday.
Maybe I'll tune in to see Donovan Clingan. Although, sans Tamani Kamara and Scoot Henderson, I've got some questions. I was already wondering if the Blazers are actually making the best plans going forward and not giving either of those two guys reps, in my opinion, that they sorely need to continue their growth. I think that's a major issue in Portland.
You said Kamara and who?
Scoot.
Scoot. You think Scoot should be on the Summer League roster?
I think Scoot needs, and I'm not trying to insult the guy. Everybody knows, I think if you listen to 1080 The Fan, knows that I'm out on Scoot Henderson, okay? I've compared him many times to number 4 overall pick out of the 97 or 98 NBA draft, Antonio Daniels. Very, very stocky, very strong, knows how to facilitate, can't shoot for S. And in my mind, will end up being a mid-tier, maybe decent NBA point guard, but not a great NBA point guard. How we can change that is get better shooting. And what...
Playing against guys like Yongzi Kui from the Guangzhou Long Lions.
What better way to get reps in-game than against actual, not the entire roster, but actual guys that are on Summer League rosters you'll be facing in the NBA? That These are
not guys that you're going to be playing in the NBA, though.
Couple, not
a couple.
Yeah, exactly.
Again,
not full. Why not go out, give him 20 minutes a game? And Kamara also shot terribly from 3 last year. Why not give them more reps? Why not give them the opportunity in game time, regardless of the talent, to get better? I think they need every shooting rep possible. And I just think the Blazers are doing them a giant disservice. Scoot is 20. Come on. He is so young. He didn't win Summer League MVP last year. Dame won Summer League MVP. Don't believe he played after his rookie season, because obviously didn't need to see it. And if you're telling me that Scoot Henderson's growth in the last season, or they're banking on the last 20 games of Scoot Henderson and say, oh yeah, you don't need Summer League, I think that's a disservice to his long-term growth. I do.
So playing against 75-80% of guys that aren't even going to be in the NBA does what exactly?
It gives him reps. It gives him time to get his shooting stroke down. It gives him the ability to get that timing down. And I know that we're not talking about the same level of defenders, but guys getting up in his face while he's trying to shoot the three is something that he needs to get better at. And I just don't think that you don't take any reps away from him in that situation. You give him the ability to get better and put him out there as much as you possibly can.
And I think you do that by playing him in the actual NBA. I think that is where you get better, is where you spend as much time as possible on the floor as an NBA player against NBA rosters and the best NBA talent there is. And that's what I brought this up before, is that Devin Booker, that's one of the things he attests to as far as one of his biggest developments in the NBA, is just going through some garbage Phoenix Suns team and just being run out there night after night after night after night, 30-plus minutes a night, and being thrown to the wolves. Like, you are going... If you're going to become one of the best players in the league and live up to your number 2 expectations, focus on your game outside of playing against guys that aren't even going to be on an NBA roster. Like, throw him again. Hopefully Simons, if he is on the team to start the year, whatever, isn't there long, but you need that dude playing and being ready for the NBA season and playing against NBA level talent at all times.
I mean, there's 3 other guys on the roster, minus Justin and I, of course, that I do believe are supposed to be key cogs in the Blazers rotation. Why not take the opportunity to roll Scoot out with them as well? They're going to need all the time they can to grow. And frankly, you might trade one of these guys midseason. You might trade him a year and a half into this development program or whatever the hell you're planning. So I just feel like you're giving yourself even less of an opportunity to see these guys together. And once again, you're just giving them less of an opportunity to go get better on the court. And Tamani and Scoot both need to shoot all the threes they can. They just have to. They are not good enough yet.
Well, Blazers Summer League will start on Saturday. No Scoot Henderson, which, again, I am fine with. To me, it is not necessary for him to be playing in Summer League. But I do want to get to this next, because it was a range of emotions in the Oregon Ducks fan base over the weekend. We get to that next here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Did you know the law
So it was a wild weekend for the Oregon Ducks fan base. It started with some very high highs. What started with a great week as Oregon landed 5-star wide receiver, trying to get the name, DeCorion Moore.
DeCorion Moore, very, very, not just the top wide receiver, but
number
the
3 overall prospect in the
good.
2025 class.
Possibly like the best since Ahmad Rashad, like that the Ducks have gotten at wide receiver. Seriously.
So the Ducks get a huge commit there. As far as teams that DeCorion Moore chose the Ducks over, well, everybody. But he also had LSU as an original commitment that he decommitted from earlier this year. I want to say that he also had Texas as an option. Ohio State was he took a visit to Ohio State as well. So winning in-conference battles, the Oregon Ducks are, for wide receiver DeCorion Moore. So that was the great news on 4th of July. The terrible, unfortunate, depressing, just overall crappy news that came about yesterday was that former Oregon Duck Kyrie Jackson was killed in a car accident over the weekend. He was riding in a car with 3 of his high school friends, and it was believed to be that alcohol was a factor, but not in their car. They were driving in their car, and there was another car on the road that apparently swerved and crashed into them, which then led them off of the road, where they unfortunately struck a few tree stumps, is what the report says from Maryland State Police.
Like a multiple on the ground, like tried to drive over. Imagine a car, hitting a bunch of tree stumps. Essentially, it just broke the car into bits, is what it sounds like.
It was around 3 o'clock in the morning in Maryland and in Upper Marlboro.
I believe that's where he's from, Kyrie.
I believe so. Yeah, I was kind of reading the yes, he's from the Washington, D.C. area. I was kind of reading his bio and his background, which, by the way, his journey to the NFL and his path that he took, just very unconventional, from playing football to not playing football to going back to the JUCO ranks to then being recruited by a bunch of schools, going to Alabama and then being buried on the depth chart and leaving there and entering the transfer portal and then going to Oregon because he knew Dan Lanning from when he was recruited by Lanning at Georgia, and then having a great season there, to then ending up being a 4th-round selection by the Minnesota Vikings. And, that's obviously one of the more unfortunate parts, is like, here's a kid that's about to start his professional career in the NFL, and he is just a few weeks away from starting training camp and starting his journey in the NFL with the Vikings. And him and the other 2 occupants of the car were pronounced dead at the scene by emergency medical services personnel.
Yeah, he was in the passenger seat, not driving. His teammate was driving, and apparently a drunk driver tried to overtake them on the road. Just really sad. It reminds you how life is so short. I could not believe this reading this news, man.
Yeah, this it sucks. Again, it's one of those where it's just, there's not much you can say other than, what the hell? Like, this is something that we obviously see happen in society too much.
That's why you don't do this. Like, don't be an idiot. Don't be an ass. This really just upsets me.
You know? And then you got 3 kids, essentially, 24, 23, 24 years old.
All doing the right thing. Minding their own business.
Yeah, get their lives cut short. So, I mean, the wide range of emotions for the Oregon Ducks this week that started with celebratory and being absolutely excited about the future with their newest commitment, and then getting this news about Kyrie Jackson, who lost his life on early Saturday morning.
Friday night, Saturday morning.
Yeah, so...
I mean, we saw like Sooners fans. I saw new conference, competitors with the Ducks, fans reaching out on Twitter, being like, "Hey, man, from Ohio State Nation, like this sucks. Like, just letting you know we're here." Like, it really was. It's terrible, but it was nice to see the response from other fans in college football. Just remembering that this is This is ultimately just a game, and we just lost a young kid's life. And what a steal in the draft for the Vikings, too. I mean, they were literally, the reports on him was that, and we saw it at Oregon, he was a pest in the defensive backfield. And they should have probably gotten him for way more money and had to draft him way sooner. And the fact that he is now gone and we don't get to see that potential fully fulfilled, that hurts, man. That hurts.
Yeah, and also it's a reminder of how annoying and disgusting some people are on social medias as well, too. The things I saw yesterday was there was a prospect that tweeted out the news or something, someone that is considering Oregon, and then, of course, an Oregon fan jumping on there and being like, make him proud and come to Oregon. It's
Stop.
Like, okay, yeah.
Stop.
Great timing, dude. Yeah.
Who is that? Get the hell off Twitter. Stop it.
Read the room.
Come on, man.
And also...
although that guy's probably, or girl's probably not a fun hang anyways. Like, it's not just Twitter that they're an ass on.
And also the engagement and the engagement farming, the likes farming, the content farming of someone posting on their Instagram story who I will not name, but also, I met this guy once. Really unfortunate to see.
That thing?
Yeah. Because when someone, celebrity, someone notable, passes away, we have to remind people, hey, I met him once.
I mean, I felt, rest in peace, Bill Schonely that passed away earlier this year. I felt weird. I didn't put anything on Twitter because I knew him.
Well, you shouldn't. I mean, again, when someone...
Yeah.
Unless it is...
It wasn't about me, though.
Well, also, it's like, I mean, again, I don't know who it's for. I don't know
exactly
why you're doing it. I don't know if it's a matter of...
If you're close to that person, like if it was like, Joe, I know you. I've worked with you for a year and a half. Tragically, you know what? Like if I passed away or if you passed away, I think it's fine if one of us posted a picture.
If you personally know the
with
person
the other one.
and have a relationship and you have a history and you've talked to them and...
But I've met this guy or gal one time and they affected my life so much. And here's this moment. Oh, for me.
Here's this selfie I have of the person where my less than 5 minute interaction, maybe 10 to 15 minutes where I talked to them once.
Disgusting.
In life.
They don't remember you. God. You're right. No, that's disgusting. I hate that part of social media. It's why I don't participate as much as I probably should as a 1080 personality on social media. That kind of crap sucks. That really gets in my craw.
Yeah. So, an unfortunate day overall, just for, life and people in general. When you see this kind of news is just, it sucks. But, Oregon and the Vikings, both fan bases will rally around it. And hopefully we'll see some great dedication memorial stuff for him during the Oregon Ducks season. But yeah, just heartbreaking news to hear about Kyrie Jackson, where a guy who just had a lot of ups and downs going through his college career, from multiple JUCOs to where he was with the Oregon Ducks and having an absolute fantastic season last year for him, and then seeing his life cut short before he could live his dream and playing in the NFL. Heartbreaking news to see. With that, we will take a break. I want to get to this next, what we're about to see possibly in the MLB today. That is an insane record that I can't believe has ever even come into my Google searches thought process ever that this could be done or has been done. So we will get to that next here. But first, Jordan Schultz, Sports Center update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, the Sacramento Kings making a huge sign-and-trade deal, grabbing free agent guard DeMar DeRozan in a 3-year, $74 million contract. The Kings, though, had to send Harrison Barnes in an unprotected 2031 pick swap to the Spurs, as well as guard Chris Duarte and 2 second-round draft picks with some cash to the Chicago Bulls to make the deal happen. Elsewhere, the Lakers signing LeBron James to a new 2-year, $101.35 million deal this weekend. LeBron took $2.7 million less than the max, allowed the Lakers to pay him so they could compete in free agency with a mid-level exception, as well as keep the team under the first apron by $45,000. And in baseball, the Seattle Mariners putting up a few runs late, actually mostly in the 8th inning. A 3-run bomb by Mitch Haniger taking care of that. But early struggles at the plate, dooming them to a 5-4 loss to the Blue Jays yesterday. The M's still can win the series with Jose Barrios and George Kirby on the bump for the rubber game. First pitch at 1:10 p.m. on Root Sports. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan shows on the Odyssey app. The only way to rewind Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
Portland Perks.
Take advantage of the warmer weather, longer days right now at Forest.
We all are it sometimes.
But one of the most impressive records I have seen, I feel like, in a while as far as baseball goes, it came to an end yesterday, unfortunately. I thought it was still alive, damn it. I thought we had potential history that could be broken today. But it was the streak was snapped yesterday. Jose Miranda for the Minnesota Twins. Do you know where I'm going with this, Jordan?
I do. This was huge. Saw this all over Sports Center.
The dude set a record, tied a record for the Minnesota Twins and himself yesterday. He recorded a hit in 12 straight at-bats.
That's absolutely nuts. What an accomplishment.
He entered yesterday's game with the team record of hits in 10 straight at-bats. And he got a hit in the first or second inning, I believe. Then he was able to get another hit in the fourth inning, which tied the MLB record for most consecutive at-bats with a hit. 12 straight at-bats. I can't even do that in MLB The Show. Even in rookie mode.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, you can.
But the last time that anybody did this was in 1952. Remember Detroit's Walt Dropo? Who could forget?
Yeah, got a couple of his autos. Yeah.
Yeah, 1952, Walt Dropo was the last person to do this. Before that, it was Boston's Pinky Higgins. What a great baseball name.
Pinky.
Old Pinky Higgins.
Gotta love you,
in,
Pinky.
In 1938. Also, Chicago Cubs' Johnny Kling in 1902. Those are the three players besides Jose Miranda that were able to get 12 straight hits and
Johnny
12
Kling.
straight at-bats. But yeah, damn it, I thought that this was going to be the chance today for him to set the record against your Houston Astros. And unfortunately, he had a routine flyout to left field in the sixth inning, which ended the streak at 12. But dude, that is insane to get 12 straight hits in, 3-4 straight games. I mean, that is like I said, that's a record that I never even thought to consider Googling, looking up before until seeing this. What is like how many straight hits a player has got? The only time I remember looking up some sort of record like this was how many straight birdies somebody got in a PGA round of golf. I mean, that is. I'm trying to think of how many straight 3-pointers. That would be another one. Like how many straight 3-pointers had a player made in a game, I guess. But again, that happens over one night. To sustain this over 3 or 4 days of baseball. And as we know, hitting a baseball much harder than making a 3-pointer. Well,
the hardest
I don't
things
know.
in sports.
I guess you make 3-pointers at a 35%, 40% clip, hitting a baseball. Some really good baseball players do it at a 35%, 40% clip. But now that makes me wonder, what's the record for the most 3-pointers made in a row?
I mean, I feel like Kobe hit 11.5 at one point, and then I think Steph Curry broke that. Or maybe it was 11 in a game, and then Steph Curry broke that with 12. I believe Dame's gotten close to that. But as far as 3-pointers in a row, you got me. That's got to be probably 5, 6, or 7, right?
Yeah. Who is the this is basically all the Google searches are giving me are stupid YouTube videos of world records, 209 3-pointers in a row by a 60-year-old man. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Most consecutive games with a 3-pointer. Steph Curry had 268 games with a 3-pointer. But I want to know, in an NBA contest, who has gone just on an absolute heater, 10 for 10, 15 for 15. I know that's probably not happened, but who is the most in an NBA game? And from what I'm seeing, is that the most 3-pointers that Steph Curry has made in a game in a row is 13, which is a record that he shares with Zach LaVine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, of course, if there's two players that you would think would hold that record, it's Steph Curry and Zach LaVine, of course.
Just got on one night. Apparently, LaVine did.
Imagine being on that much of a heater, though, where you're just cashing every 3-pointer that you throw up.
Just doesn't matter. You can't miss. You're throwing it up. There's a couple shots in there that you're probably just I didn't think I was going to make that, and I went right in. All right, let's keep it shooting. Keep it going.
And now I'm just trying to think of, an NFL equivalent of that. I mean, I don't know if it'd be has a player 4 straight receptions, 4 touchdowns, or
you can't throw to somebody 11 times in a row. Yeah,
That's what I'm trying
the
to think
defense
of,
is gonna totally tank that guy. Travis Kelce would get tackled at some point.
Well, again, how many straight touchdown throws? Has there ever been a quarterback that it's 4 completions, 4 touchdowns, or even in college football,
yeah, possible something like
5
that.
for 5 with 5 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah.
Some Hawaii quarterback from 20 years ago, Timmy Chang or something like that.
It's a good question. I mean, this is a pretty cool record, dude. You think of bats in a row and then how tough it is to get a hit each time in the majors. Yeah, I wish this would have gone through yesterday, but how random is it, too? Baseball is the most random sport. That Jose Miranda, I mean, some guy basically mid-tier major league player. We're not talking about Mike Trout. We're not talking about Mookie Betts hitting 12 hits in a row. This is just mid-tier MLB player, and that's why baseball is, in my opinion, the best sport to watch. Anything can happen on any given day, and look at what the last 3 days of Jose Miranda were leading up to this weekend. That was nuts, man.
Well, now I have to. I want to look this up. Is how much did his average go up from?
Ooh, good question.
Before and after this game. So this streak started, I believe,
like
on
20
1,
points.
2, 6, 5.
I guess it depends on what he was hitting beforehand.
So this started on July 3rd. So on Wednesday, his last at bat of the game, he got a hit. He then went 5 for 5 on the 4th of July.
Atta baby.
4 for 4 on the 5th of July. And then he went 2 for 3 yesterday with this last at bat ending the streak. So he entered July 3rd with an average of 296. Still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And he ended yesterday with an average of 328. So his average went up by 32 points. 0.032 points. His slugging went from 0.482 to 0.531. He raised his OPS from 0.821 to 0.901.
Oh my God.
Within 4 days.
Yeah, because he kept getting on base. That total bases, I believe, is a part of that equation.
Yeah, the OBP went from 339 to 370.
My God.
So now he is slashing on the season 328, 370, 531.
That's impressive.
Within a matter of days, he has
baseball.
completely changed the trajectory of his season. I mean, again, he was already batting pretty damn well for the Minnesota Twins before that with a 296 average going into July 3rd. But that is wild. That is a wild 4-day stretch where you are just on an absolute heater. I only hope to have a day like that or have a streak like that on MLB the show today in my Kansas City Royals as I propel us into a final wild card spot late in the season as a rookie.
The greatness of Joey Fisher. Oh, it's a grand salami for Fish.
But I'm telling you, I was going through a rough time to start my MLB career. It was not fun. It was like 2 for 20. I was just swinging at anything. I was eager. I was trying my best to just get anything out there. I was a young lad out there just trying to make a difference for my team and just couldn't make it happen. We're all right though.
Pulling a Jackson Holiday per se.
What? Hey, that's not cool. All right, I'm not all right with that. That's enough out of you. Also, the most consecutive birdies in a round of golf came from Mark Calcavecchia. He
Who?
Mark Calcavecchia, I believe, or Calcavecchia, I believe is the name. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But he shot a 65 at the 2009 RBC Canadian Open, and that consisted of 9 consecutive birdies. Now that is a heater. 9 of the birdies were on putts from 15 feet or closer, beginning on the 12th hole, played on the back 9 first. But 9 consecutive birdies in a round. The most consecutive birdies to win a round came from Kevin Streelman. He birdied 7 consecutive holes to win the 2014 Travelers Championship.
And
that would be insane to watch.
And I'm wondering if there are, any par 3s in those stretches, how many par 5s there were. Like what part of the course was this on the back 9? Was this through the turn? I would say that would separate a little bit, more of like the 7 to the 9 as well. Because, golf, not all golf courses are the same, but still 7 birdies and then 9, that's almost impossible.
So we can take a look at, I hope I can pull up the golf card, the scorecard at Glen Abbey Golf Club. That's where this happened at. The 9 consecutive birdies. Here we go. Scorecard. Bam. Got it. So it said that he started it on the back 9 on the 12th. It started on the 12th hole, and he played the back 9 first. So he started on hole 10.
Gotcha.
So he let's see. That consisted of 2 par 3s, 3 par 5s.
There we go. Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There was 4 par 5s in there.
Oh my God. That's tough.
4 of the 9 birdies were par 5s.
I mean, come on. Does that tells you everything you need to know, right?
Damn. I can only imagine. Like just not even in just a PGA round, just in a regular round of golf, to be on
Seriously.
that much of a heater. I couldn't do that at the children's course. I couldn't do that at the pitch and putt at what is it, the Eagles Landing over there in Clackamas, where like every hole is like 50 to 70 yards. Even at Edgefield, the little 3-hole course that they have over there. My God, just like here, if they put me out at that Edgefield course and they're like, we will give you as much time as you need to get 9 straight birdies, I think that would probably take me weeks.
I'm trying to think of like any other comparable record. I think maybe games with a home run is another one in baseball. Like I think Griffey is one of the leaders with 8 home runs in 8 games, along with 2 or 3 or 4 other major leaguers in history, and that is kind of up there with hits in a row. I mean, obviously you're only having to hit once a day, get a hit a day instead of getting all 3 or 4, but. Gosh, this is kind of random. I think about records all the time, but not records of consecutive events.
And this on the Vancouver Ford text line, Dale Long has the honor of being the first player to hit home runs in 8 successive games, a record that stands to this day. His run started on May 19th, 1956 at Forbes Field and ended 9 days later when he took Carl Erskine deep in Brooklyn.
I think Griffey's was in 94, 5, or 6, if I remember correctly.
They also text in how many homers in a row. We'll look that up. Pitchers had struck out the most batters in a row. That is, we'll look both of those up here in the break because we got to wrap things up here next. We also on the text line, someone wanted a Rashad post-surgery update. We'll give you that next here to wrap up the show. Sports Sunday. Joe Fisher, Jordan Schultz behind the glass, 1080 The Fan.
Get
All right, some baseball records. There have been 6 players that have hit 4 home runs in a row in a single game.
Whoa.
In consecutive at-bats. Bobby Lowe.
Oh, I know who one of these is, actually.
Lou Gehrig.
I watched it live.
I'm not surprised if you did.
And
Rocky Colavito. Mike Schmidt, one of my favorite players of all time, Carlos Delgado.
Oh, heck yeah. And can I throw this in there?
Yes, you can.
Mariners center fielder Mike Cameron, I believe in 2001 against the Chicago White Sox. He had an opportunity to break the record and hit 5 in a row. He had a 5th at bat that game, and I believe he ended up either flying out or doubling.
That is correct. He also had 4 home runs in 4 straight at-bats. As far as most strikeouts in a row, most consecutive strikeouts by a pitcher, stupid cookies. No, I don't want to accept cookies on this page.
I usually like cookies, but I need some milk with them.
Tom Seaver, 10 consecutive strikeouts within 1 game.
This brings up the old record as well of most innings pitched consecutively without a run given up. And I don't know if this record was ever broken, but I know that old Dodgers pitcher and then Texas Rangers pitching coach Oral Hershiser, I believe, set it at like 58 or 59 and a half straight scoreless innings. I don't know if that's ever been beaten.
Along with Tom Seaver, Aaron Nola also did it back in 2021 versus the Mets.
10 Ks.
10 consecutive strikeouts. And my guy, Corbin Burns. 10 consecutive strikeouts. Now, he didn't do it as an Oriole. He did it as the Milwaukee Brewer against the Cubs, also in 2021. So both Nola and Burns threw 10 straight strikeouts in the same season after Tom Seaver was the only one to have done it back in 1970. All right, to wrap things up, to comment on the Vancouver Ford text line, someone asked, how's Rashad post-surgery? Any word? I had reached out to his mother the day of to just get an update. Long surgery, about 8 to 10 hours. She said that it went well and that he was just resting up. I didn't want to really get too much details. I just wanted to make sure that he made it out of the surgery okay. Said she is doing good. Surgery went well. He is now in recovery. Just told her to give me any updates if anything happened, any news. It's probably been a crazy last few days for them, so haven't heard anything since 4th of July, but I will definitely be checking in with at least him and or her over the next day or so. Again, just want to give them some time to make sure they are meeting with doctors and making sure everything's going as well as possible, and hopefully it's just good news from here on out. We'll probably have the next update on him in 2 weeks, unless Schultze is here doing a show. Next week, I will be out. I will be camping out near Tillamook on the Trask River.
Ooh, sounds fun, man.
Yes, it's one of those kind of low-lying rivers where, like, if you stand in it, you're maybe knee to, hip height in water. Like, there's no real, deep swimming holes. But what's great about it is there's some parts in the river where you can literally just sit and have the water and just the rapids just run over you.
Sounds perfect right now.
I literally last year I did it for just hours on end where I just take a beer and a couple beers down to the river with me, and I would just find a spot along a rock that was just nice postured up and everything, so where I could just literally sit in the river and have the water just run over me and just sit there for a good 30, 45 minutes, go out, get something to eat, come right back in, go get some crawdad traps filled up. But I'll be out after the Fan Golf Classic. So I will be there on Thursday. Yeah. I will be a part of the 1 p.m. tee-off time. I hope to see everybody out there. No one is going to be on air that day. It is just going to be a party with all the shows, everybody out at the Fan Golf Tournament. Come say hey. Come to the driving range. Come stop by and just say what's up. We will be out on the 6th hole, Volcano hole, giving our wisdom, maybe shooting some shots.
Yeah, I'll probably be at the driving range trying to improve my crappy swing.
Hey, spend as much time there as you need. It's the balls just replenish. They will give you as many as you need at the Michelob Ultra driving range. But everybody that listened today, spent time with us, I appreciate you. Please take time out of the sun and out of the heat over the next few days. I know if you have to work, I appreciate you being out there. But if anybody can just spend time indoors in some nice AC unit rooms, please do so.
Yeah, and I will definitely, if I'm on, I'll give an update on Rashad next week. Obviously, I'll plan that with Boss Man and Will Ortner. But enjoy your camping trip, my friend. Enjoy the week, and can't wait to see all y'all out at the Fan Golf Classic this week.
And also, fan text line, they inform me Jeremiah Estrada for the Kansas City Royals, 13 consecutive strikeouts this year. How about that?
13? Man, you know what? We need to get these batting averages up. We're getting too deep into a strikeout world.
Thank you for the text line listening and correcting us where need be. And thank you all for listening on this Sunday. I will catch you in 2 weeks. Have a good rest of your day and stay cool. Peace.